Hello students, I'm Dr. Anjali Shetty. I'll be discussing today very important hormone, insulin, the physiology of the hormone insulin. This is made very famous due to the disease diabetes mellitus. And we are going to discuss this particular insulin in relation with its physiology. Now let us discuss this particular hormone under these headings. What we are going to see is what exactly is the background of this hormone insulin. What is the chemical nature of insulin, how the receptors are there, how they are going to act, what is the mechanism of action, what are the actions of insulin, the physiological actions, how the secretion of insulin is regulated, and the hormone glucagon, how it acts along with the hormone insulin. And in short, we are going to discuss the diabetes mellitus. Now, as this hormone is secreted by one important gland, which is pancreas. Pancreas is having two major parts. One is exocrine part. You must have studied already this. This exocrine pancreas is related to the digestion and it releases various types of digestive enzymes. It helps in the digestion of foodstuffs. Along with that, it also has an endocrine part, and this endocrine part is related to hormone secretion. Endocrine part anatomically has two major tissues. One is acini and the second is islets of Langerhans. So it has having islets which are around 1 to 2 million in number, and they will be having different types of cells. Most commonly, up till now, we have found around four types of cells. The most abundant cell is around 60%, that is beta cell. These beta cells secretes the insulin. Then comes the alpha cell, which is around 25%, which is secreting glucagon. 10% is delta cell secreting the somatostatin, and 5% of the cells are EP cells or F cells. In some books it is referred, and they will secrete the pancreatic polypeptide. So this is how the structure of the pancreas is there. So you have these pancreatic acini, and in between the acini, you will be having the islets of Langerhans. And these islets of Langerhans will be having the different types of cells. The alpha cells, the beta cells, the delta cells. So this is how the structure of islets of cells is there. Coming to the chemical nature of insulin. This hormone insulin was first isolated by the scientists Banting and West in 1922. And since then, the treatment of the diabetes mellitus is evolutionary. And then the treatment now has come to a stage that we have lot many types of, even we have the replacement of pancreas nowadays. So since 1922, the development, the first isolation of insulin hormone was done by these two scientists. They found out that insulin is a small protein which is having two amino acid chains, and they are connected with each other by disulfide linkages. This disulfide link, the connection, is responsible for its functional activity. So without this linkage, the functional activity of the insulin is not possible. It is formed as usual by a process of protein synthesis in the beta cells of islets of Langerhans. The plasma half-life is around 6 minutes, and it is cleared from circulation within 10 to 15 minutes. If the unbound insulin is there, it is degraded by insulinase enzyme, which is mainly done in liver. So this is the chemical nature of insulin. So if you consider this is the formation, how it is formed. So first, the ribosomes. The ribosomes will be having the pre-pro-insulin, and in the endoplasmic reticulum, this will be converted to pro-insulin. Then in the Golgi apparatus, insulin and C-peptide, these are the two parts which are formed, and they will be packaged in secretory granules to release. So this is how it is formed. This is proinsulin, which is there in the endoplasmic reticulum. So what it is having one amino acid chain, second amino acid chain, and this is a C-peptide linkage, and these are the disulfide linkages. They will be formed like this. So you will be having C peptide and you will be having two amino acids linked with disulfide, and this is actually the insulin. This insulin along with the C peptide will be in the secretory granule, and from here it will be released. As such, the C peptide does not have any insulin-like action, but it binds to the membrane and activates the enzymes which are important for physiological functions. The enzymes may be like sodium potassium ATPase or endothelial nitric oxide synthase. So these will be the enzymes which are important for physiological functions. So along with the insulin, this also activates some of the enzyme and helps in metabolism. Now coming to the receptor. So we have seen the structure of the insulin, how it is there. Now we will see how the insulin receptors are there. The receptors, if you look at the receptor, it will be having four subunits which are again held together by disulfide linkages. Amongst these, two alpha subunits will be lying outside and two beta subunits will be penetrating the membrane. So you'll be having four subunits, one outside and two penetrating the membrane. Now, insulin binds with the alpha subunit, but the alpha is also linked with beta subunit. So, whenever alpha is phosphorylated, the beta subunit also is autophosphorylated and it activates the enzyme tyrosine kinase. This tyrosine kinase then activates multiple other intracellular enzymes and thus the receptor hormone complex is responsible for its metabolic action. So this is how it works. So if you see, this is the cell membrane and this is the alpha part and this is the beta part of the receptor. And here the insulin will be attached to the alpha part. If this is phosphorylated, the beta is also phosphorylated and it will secrete the tyrosine kinase, and this insulin receptor substrate causes the phosphorylation of enzymes, and then it will activate the first glucose transport. So there will be glucose will be utilized by the cell. Then it also acts on protein synthesis. It acts on fat synthesis. It acts as a glycogen synthesis, and it helps in the growth and gene expression. So this is how the receptor hormone complex of insulin is working together. Now you can see one of the example for the glucose transport. So whenever the insulin is there, this insulin particularly will be causing the glucose. If it is entered, it will cause a series of examples or series of reactions, and that causes the utilization of glucose across the cell whenever the insulin is released. Now, in detail, we have seen in a pictorial manner how it works. Now, in theoretical, if you want to write the answers, this is how you have to write. The mechanism of action is mainly due to the insulin receptor complex. What it generates a complex variety of second messengers, or it generates the intracellular signals. Now, this translocates the glucose transporters to the cell and enhances the glucose utilization. So, you can go through this again, that it is causing so many enzyme secretion. These are the second messenger system, and then it causes the glucose utilization. Along with this, it also activates or inhibits different types of enzymes which are going to affect the metabolism of carbohydrates, the fat, and the proteins. They also cause the stimulation of protein synthesis by increasing the amino acid transport into the cell. There will be increase in the messenger RNA synthesis, which further helps in the protein and enzyme synthesis. It also inhibits the genes which are required for enzymes involved in gluconeogenesis. So this will be the mechanism of action if there is a hormone receptor complex. The basic thing is that whenever the insulin attaches with the receptor, it causes the activation of second messengers, and these second messengers then activate different types of enzymes will be acting on carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism, will be acting on protein synthesis, will be acting on enzyme synthesis, or will be converting the glucose into glycogen store. Now coming to individual actions. So these will be the physiological actions. which is again as a part of long answer question. These answers you have to write. So the physiological actions of insulin on each of the metabolism separately. So first we are going to discuss the carbohydrate metabolism. Overall, it decreases the blood glucose level. So it is hypoglycemic curve. The insulin increases the utilization of glucose and decreases its production. And by doing these two processes, it decreases the blood glucose level and thus achieves the hypoglycemia. So whenever you have taken food, it will be including the carbohydrate, it will be including the fat and the protein. So the proper utilization of all these materials will be there, and due to the ingestion of carbohydrate, immediately there will be increase in the blood glucose level. So after every meal, there will be release of this insulin, which causes decrease in the blood glucose level. How it achieves? First, it causes stimulation of glycolysis. So, especially in the liver and the skeletal muscle, it causes the glycolysis. So, it favors the utilization of glucose as a fuel and spares the amino acids and fatty acids. So, glucose will be utilized by the cell. So, whatever glucose which is extra, that will be utilized. Then it stimulates the gluconeogenesis, so converts extra glucose into the glycogen, and then after the utilization as a fuel, whatever remaining amount of glucose is there, that will be converted as a glycogen, and then it will be stored in liver and muscles. Then it inhibits the gluconeogenesis from non-carbohydrate sources. So from generation of new glucose will be avoided. So apart from carbohydrate source, the source of glucose will be hampered. So it will be no new glucose will be formed. So there will be stimulation of glycolysis. So glucose will be utilized. Stimulation of gluconeogenesis converts glucose into glycogen, then inhibits the gluconeogenesis. So these are the three major actions by which there is a decrease in the blood glucose level. Coming to the lipid metabolism. Now, as carbohydrates is utilized mainly as a fuel, whatever remaining metabolic uh, metabolites are there, like lipids and proteins, they will be spared. So what it causes, it will stimulate the lipogenesis. So whatever amount of fat it will be converted, and it will be converted into and stored as a new lipid store. Then it inhibits the lipolysis also. So there will be no lipid destruction. Protein also same stimulates the protein synthesis and inhibits the protein breakdown. So it is sparing the lipids and the proteins as a utilization for fuel. They will be utilized more as a growth factor. So it utilizes carbohydrates as fuels and conserves the protein which is necessary for cell division and growth. So whenever we are taking meat, the carbohydrates will be utilized. But the fats and the proteins, which are important for the cell division and growth, they will be spared and they will be stored. And then this energy will be utilized for the cell division. Along with that, it also enhances the effects of many growth factors. So this is how it is working on carbohydrate, lipid, protein metabolism. If you want to have see the actions individually on muscle, what happens? It promotes the glucose uptake, it promotes the muscle glycogen synthesis, it promotes the protein synthesis and its storage, increasing amino acid transport, stimulating transcription and translation, inhibits the protein catabolism, and it also causes increased transport of potassium into the cell. So these we have already discussed related to three systems: carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism. Now these three systems will be activated on one tissue, that is muscle. So all will be activated, but basically there will be glucose utilization will be more extra amount will be synthesized and stored as glycogen. Protein synthesis will be more, and inhibition of protein catabolism will be there, and it will be stored for and cell division and growth. If you see the action on liver, it promotes the liver uptake, storage and use of glucose. It prevents the breakdown of glycogen. It promotes the glycogen synthesis and it increases the glucose uptake as well. So again the same action, but only on one liver tissue. It decreases the gluconeogenesis, so no new glucose is formed. It promotes the conversion of excess glucose into fatty acids. So that will be stored as a fatty acid and it promotes the protein synthesis. So same action again will be seen on adipose tissue. Increase the transport of glucose, inhibits the action of hormone sensitive lipase, promotes the formation of alpha glycerol phosphate, fatty acid synthesis promotes the triglyceride transport and deposition in adipose tissue and stimulates the potassium transport. So in general, if you discuss the carbohydrate, fat and protein metabolism, you can identify what will be the action on different tissues. And the tissues much more important for the insulin will be muscle, liver and the adipose tissue. So I have discussed this in detail here. Many a times the question only on the tissues is asked, more commonly in the Viva as a short answer question, as a brief answer question, then you can utilize this particular information for that. Coming to the regulation of secretion, how the secretion of insulin is regulated. To cause the increase in the insulin secretion, there should be increased blood glucose, increased blood-free fatty acid, increased blood amino acids. Along with that, you also have the action of gastrointestinal hormones like gastrin, cholecystokinin, GIP, and secretin. It is said that before the glucose is reaching in the bloodstream, these hormones will be secreted, gastrointestinal hormone, and they will cause the release of insulin hormone. So immediately these hormones will secrete the insulin secretion. Then apart from that, the glucagon growth hormone, cortisol, these are the hormones which are secreted whenever there is, see, growth hormone is secreted for the growth. So it requires a sparing action of protein sparing and fat sparing. And this particular activity will require the activity of insulin also. So along with that, you will have the insulin secretion, growth hormone, cortisol in stressful conditions. Say for example, inflammation is there. Here the tissue damage is there and you want to regenerate the tissue. Here you want to have the cell repair and you require more protein. And for more protein to have, they should be stored more. And for that reason, these are the hormones where you get the secretion of insulin more. In cases of parasympathetic stimulation, beta-adrenergic stimulation, these will cause the increase in insulin secretion. And nowadays, the obesity and the insulin resistance, which is the insulin secretion is normal, but the receptors are resistant. These are the conditions where you get increase in the insulin secretion. But you also have some of the factors which are causing the decrease in the insulin secretion. So normally after a meal, you get the secretion of insulin, but immediately after some time, it will cause a decrease in the insulin secretion. So what are these factors? The first thing is that whenever the first most important is the blood glucose level. So the blood glucose level that manages the secretion of insulin. So if there is a decreased blood glucose level, there will be decrease in the insulin secretion. In conditions of fasting, if you have secretion of somatostatin, if you have alpha adrenergic activity, and in cases of a hormone which is known as leptin hormone, which is responsible for the obesity factor, nowadays you can Google it. This is a new hormone which is there, and that also decreases the insulin secretion. So this is how the secretion of insulin is regulated. But the first and the most important is blood glucose level. So that causes the regulation of insulin secretion. Coming to the hormone which is acting as a contradictory to the insulin hormone. So we'll have just a glimpse of this hormone. This glucagon hormone is a large peptide hormone and it is secreted by alpha cells. It is known as hyperglycemic hormone and it causes just the opposite effect of the insulin hormone. stimulates the glycogenolysis, stimulates the gluconeogenesis, and it stimulates the lipolysis. So whatever activity of insulin, just the opposite of that, it occurs here by the glucagon hormone. Now, if there is stimulation of lipolysis, oxidation of free fatty acid is there due to lipolysis. If it is complete, it will produce the carbon dioxide. But if it is incomplete, it produces the ketone bonds. Now, increased blood glucose level always inhibits the glucagon secretion. So, whenever the blood glucose level is increased, automatically insulin secretion will be there and the glucagon secretion will be hampered. Increased blood amino acids and exercise, they also stimulate the glucagon secretion. So, whenever the blood amino acids are increased, the glucagon secretion will be increased. Exercise also stimulates the secretion of glucagon. Coming to the somatostatin. This particular hormone is secreted by delta cells of pancreas and it is said to have extreme short half-life, only 3 minutes. It inhibits the action of insulin and glucagon secretion, and the major factor, the major action it has, it decreases the motility of stomach, duodenum and gallbladder. It decreases the secretion and absorption of GIT, and somatostatin secretion majorly is stimulated by increased blood glucose, increased amino acids, increased fatty acids, and increased GIT hormones. So this is the activity which is having a control over both the insulin as well as the glucagon hormone. Coming in short to the diabetes mellitus, that finishes the physiology of insulin hormone. The major disorder which is discussed along with the insulin is diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is a condition which occurs due to deficiency of insulin. There may be actual deficiency of insulin or the body may be resistant to insulin. So insulin is there, but the body is not reacting to that insulin. This insulin resistance may be due to antibodies which are present in circulation. There may be decrease in the receptor itself, or there may be antibodies to the insulin receptor itself. So we have identified these types of conditions, and nowadays it is said by research that insulin resistance is much more common than the actual deficiency of insulin. Maybe there is actual deficiency or maybe there is resistance, but it creates a defective second messenger signaling. And if the second messenger signaling is not proper, the further metabolic functions of insulin will not be there. And then it produces a condition which is known as diabetes mellitus. I'm going to discuss only the clinical features of this and what is the physiological basis of these clinical features. The first and the most important is hyperglycemia. As there is absence of insulin, there will be no utilization of the glucose. So whatever increase in the plasma glucose level is there, it will be remained as it is. And so the patient will be having hyperglycemia. Now, if there is increase in the plasma glucose level, the renal normal threshold for glucose is 180 milligrams per deciliter. If your glucose level exceeds that level, then there will be appearance of glucose in urine, and then the condition is glycosuria. So you have hyperglycemia. If it is more than 180 milligrams, it will appear in urine and will cause glycosuria. If the glucose is there present in the renal tissues, that exerts an osmotic effect and it reduces the water reabsorption. And due to reduction in water reabsorption, there is loss of increased urine volume. And this is the condition which is known as polyuria. If there is increase in the urinary volume, the person drinks excess amount of water to balance it. So that is polydipsia. As the glucose utilization is very poor, so the body behaves as if the person is not eating much of the food. So whatever food intake mechanisms, they will be activated and the person eats more and more amount of, and that is termed as polyphagia. So you have these types of clinical features and the physiological basis of this. Coming to the next clinical feature, which is very common, loss of weight. As the food fuels are not utilized efficiently, the person will lose weight. There will be protein breakdown, and it adds to more muscle wasting. It is said that it is many is available, but there is starvation. So many a times in some of the books it is termed as it is a disease of starvation amidst of many. So you have all available, but you feel like starved, and the person will be losing the weight. Then comes the ketosis. As there is increased lipolysis, there will be release of more free fatty acid, and oxidation of these free fatty acids will be there. But due to simultaneous reduction in the lipolysis, the free fatty acids are available less for oxidation, and hence there will be incomplete oxidation, and incomplete oxidation causes the production of ketone bodies, and that is a condition which is known as ketosis. And you can have, if you are going into second year and third year, you can smell the breath as a sweet breath which is known as ketone breath of a diabetic patient. Then comes the dehydration or acid imbalance. Excessive loss of water and electrolyte can cause this type of condition. So I think that is all related to the physiology of hormone insulin and in short the diabetes mellitus. Thank you very much.